Sultan's Triumphs. 5 Tiny Tales. Sultan Plays Fair. Today is going to be roarsome, exclaimed Sultan the tiger cub. He soared on his magic carpet around his jungly jungle gym, a sandy paradise with desert palm trees and a fun playhouse. Below him, Pounce, the golden-coloured kitten, slid down the jungly jungle gym's curvy slide. "Woohoo!" said Pounce. "I can't wait to go to the Whisker Carnival," Sultan shouted. "All the palace pets and citizens are going to have an amazing time," said Pounce. "But do you know what's going to be the most amazingest part of the day, Pounce?" asked Sultan. "The most amazingest?" Pounce said. "Ooh, I know," he said. "Is there a fantastic feather display? I love feathers." Sultan shook his head. "But what could be more amazing than fantastic feathers?" asked Pounce. "Winning games!" Sultan yelled. "Huh?" said Pounce, cocking his head to one side. "I hear there'll be lots of games at the carnival," said Sultan. "Well, I'm going to win every single one of them. I'm going to crush the competition." Sultan roared and then laughed. "Whoa, that's great! But how do you know you're going to win?" said Pounce. "Because I'm roarsome, that's how," said Sultan. He winked. "You must practice all the time to become that roarsome," said Pounce. Sultan laughed. "Practice," he said. "I don't need practice. I'm a talented tiger. The speediest, most bravest tiger in Whisker Haven." But practice makes perfect," Pounce said. "When you're this roarsome, you're unbeatable," said Sultan. Just then, Miss Featherbone, the hummingbird fairy and gatekeeper of Whisker Haven, flew overhead singing, "Palace pets, citizens, come to the meadow and join the fun. The Whisker Haven Carnival has now begun." As Miss Featherbone flew away, she dropped one of her tail feathers. Pounce's eyes lit up at the sight of it. He scooped it up, shook it at Sultan and said, "Come on, let's shake a tail feather." "Yeah, let's rock and roar," Sultan yelled. Then the tiger cub blasted off. "Wait for me," Pounce said, chasing him. They moved as fast as their paws would carry them. When Sultan and Pounce arrived at the crowded meadow, they looked around at the Whisker Haven Carnival and grinned. There were rides and games galore. Palace pets and citizens started to line up. Sundrop, Whisker Haven's prettiest peacock, was putting up the last of the carnival decoration streamers, balloons and lots of confetti, while Sultan was looking around at all the carnival games. Pounce was staring at Sundrop, who stepped back to admire his work and shook out his tail feathers. "Ooh, pretty feathers," said Pounce. "I really, really love feathers." "Thanks," said Sundrop. Sundrop smiled and strutted past Pounce, but when he moved, one of his tail feathers fell out. Then he turned again and 2 more feathers fell out. He saw the 3 feathers on the ground. "Oh me, oh my, oh no!" Sundrop cried. Pounce walked towards him. Sundrop's eyes widened. His legs trembled, and the proud peacock quickly backed away and ran out of the meadow, away from the carnival. Well, Pounce, gathered Sundrop's feathers, Sultan was on a mission to win. And when Sultan strolled up to the first game booth, a device called the roarometer, he knew his winning streak was about to begin. Whoever has the loudest roar wins, announced Mr. Chow, the silver-blue cat. Pumpkin, the fluffy white puppy, went first. "Okay, here we go," she said. "Woof." The roarometer rose to 25%, and the crowd clapped their paws and hooves. Nuzzles, the shy little fox, cautiously stepped up to the machine next and said, "Roar." The roarometer went to 2%. Everyone looked at each other. Nearby a cricket chirped. "Sorry, loud noises actually startle me a bit," Nuzzles whispers. "My turn," Sultan exclaimed. Nuzzles jumped and dashed away. "Roar!" bellowed Sultan. The roarometer went to 100%. A bell rang announcing him as the victor. "That was amazing," said Pounce. "Thanks, pal," said Sultan. "Now, what's next?" Sultan eyed the other games and saw the kibble sack race was about to take place. "My tickling tiger tail," said Sultan. "I'll win that race in no time." After jumping into his kibble sack, Sultan hopped his way to yet another triumph. "There's no stopping you," said Pounce. "Thanks, Pounce," Sultan said. "Now it's time to head to the hairy, scary funhouse." "You sure you want to do that, buddy?" Pounce asked, glancing at the funhouse. "The hairy, scary funhouse looks terribly terrifying." Too terrifying," said Pumpkin. "Well, I'm brave," said Sultan. "I'm not afraid." He puffed out his chest and put his bravest face before charging into the funhouse. Though Sultan was a little nervous going in, he explored every frightening nook and petrifying cranny of the hairy, scary funhouse. And by the time he came out the other end, he had a big smile on his face. "I'm the greatest tiger there ever was," Sultan roared. "Watch my stripes. I'm unbeatable." He turned to Pounce. "Now, what's the next carnival contest I'm going to win?" Pounce turned to his left and pointed a paw. Pony shoe toss," he said. "Great," Sultan said, bounding over to the booth. Pounce followed. At the booth, Sultan found only one other pet waiting to compete against him. Sweetie, the blue sports-loving pony, was practicing tossing pony shoes onto a shiny peg. What do I have to do here, exactly?" Sultan whispered to Pounce. "See that peg?" Pounce whispered. "You just have to toss the pony shoes around the peg." "Just toss the shoes on the peg?" Sultan repeated, and Pounce nodded. "How easy is that?" Sultan took a pony shoe from Pounce, nodded at Sweetie, and smiled before letting the shoe soar. It landed with a thud, falling beyond the peg. "Roar! I didn't realize my own strength," Sultan said. "Pounce, another pony shoe, please." Pounce handed one to Sultan, and when Sultan threw it this time, it landed short of the peg. "How roarful!" Sultan exclaimed, grabbing the remaining pony shoes and tossing them, his aim getting worse with each throw. When Sultan was done, he looked at his toss work. Not one pony shoe was remotely close to the peg. My turn, Sweetie said, stepping beside Sultan. She tossed her first pony shoe. Clank! The shoe landed right around the peg. Here we go again, Sweetie shouted as she released another pony shoe. Clank! Shoe number 2 hit the mark. She threw shoes number 3, 4 and 5. Clank, clank, clank. The crowd of palace pets and citizens who had gathered around them went wild. Miss Featherbon swooped by the group. Congratulations, Sweetie, she sang out. Everyone cheered. But there was one pet who wasn't so happy about Sweetie's success. Hey, that's not fair, Sultan roared, stomping his paws and turning to face Sweetie. You only won pony shoe toss because you're a pony, Sultan told Sweetie. That could be true, Sultan, Sweetie replied, but it's more likely that I won because I've been practicing day and night for this game. Tell me, how many hours did you spend training, huh? How many hours? Sultan repeated. He scratched his head with his paw. Well, 0. You didn't practice at all, Sweetie asked. But if you didn't practice, how did you expect to win? Because I'm me, Sultan said, smiling. You're not being a good sport, said Sweetie. Yes, Sultan, I agree, said Pounce. Sultan looked from face to face and his smile slowly vanished. What did I say? He asked. It's like running, said Sweetie. You're a fast runner, but the more you run, the faster you get. Huh, said Sultan. That makes sense. Since I practice tossing pony shoes, it's no wonder I'm the ringer for the game, Sweetie said. Sweetie, I owe you an apology, said Sultan. Practice really does make perfect. I'm sorry. Apology accepted, said Sweetie. Sultan, what a splendificent sport you've proven to be, said Miss Featherbon. Thanks, said Sultan. Now, let's get back to the carnival games. I need as much practice as I can get before I challenge Sweetie to a rematch. Oh, I can't wait, Sweetie said with a smile.